Everyone, it's your best friend Pete, part-time exile. Sorry, I've been AFK for a bit. I've been busy trying to get my knee back into working shape. It's been injured for the past, it's been a while, 6-ish months plus. And I could barely sit down for probably max 3 hours without having to move around a bunch or stretch, lie down, walk around, etc., etc. It's doing much better now. But yes. Anyway, gonna be playing for my starter build, most likely Exsanguinate, Reap, and Corrupting Blood. So physical damage over time multiplier, and not bleed. The reason being is I want to play Expedition, of course, my favorite. And the only two that I can comfortably do Expedition is physical or essence stream or chaos damage. Unfortunately, I played a bunch of chaos damage last year and in Frisia, so kind of want to try something different. I've already pretty much min-maxed Essence Drain of Desperation. It did get a huge buff. It's even stronger than before. It was already doing like 4 million Uber DPS. Now it's doing like 5 million Uber DPS. But point is, we're talking about Exsanguinate, and Reap, which also got buffs. So each got about 250 DPS increase, base damage increase, which is fairly reasonable. I guess they're trying to not make it compete with bleed, which is also understandable. So they don't want to buff it too much, which I agree. You don't want to buff this up because it's fairly easy to play. Hard to scale, but easy to play. So this character itself is from the Sanctum League in like 3 years ago. It was using a Skin of the Lords, and this helmet, which doesn't exist anymore because enchants don't exist in the lab, so I had to get rid of it. So I'm just using a Tabula, and I switched out for Devoto's Devotion. And every other piece of gear is pretty generic. Like, this is whatever. I guess I'm kind of cheating with Charisma, but I don't know. Whatever's. Just assume Charisma isn't there. And I really don't want to sort through my stash now. That's too much stuff. I decided to change out the wand. It's just a generic +1 with Phys damage over time. And then using a Haemophilia. So when I use Corrupting Fever, everything pops. And it feels nice. Mark of Submission is just to curse enemies with vulnerability on hit. Because it's attack hits against cursed enemies have 25% chance to inflict bleeding. And Haemophilia Gloves themselves have 25% chance to cause bleeding. So 50% chance total. That's relevant because the next line says, bleeding enemies you kill explode, dealing 5% of their max life as Phys damage, which is very comfortable. And the sound of it, it's just the sound. Sounds so nice. Such a good sound. Devoto's very common drop, just gives movement speed, some damage or some attack speed, chaos riz. Yeah, it's generic ring. I kind of just found this ring randomly in one of these tabs, and it provided dexterity. Generic. I guess I was using this during Sanctum. I didn't bother to upgrade it. I don't even know. So I did change the. So the reason why I plan on playing Scion in 3.26 is because it's going to have a pretty major change to one of the ascendancies that you use here, which will be the Guardian. It's clicked here, but in 3.26 it's going to have the 25% increased mana reservation efficiency node that's on the actual Guardian currently, or in the upcoming 3.26, which will make Spellslinger even easier to maintain. So Spellslinger in 3.6 did get a buff, so it's going to be a 20% flat reservation now instead of going from a 30 to a 25. So now it's just a flat 20% reservation, which is gigantic. There's also a node on the Wand Mastery in 3.26 that will replace unnerved enemies with I think skills supported by Spellslinger have 25% reduce or increased mana reservation. So that would also be good. However, if I do play this, if this is exactly how the build's going to look, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to look, but if it does look something like this, I cannot get to the wand node right here. But this is a Wandslinger itself is a pretty decent node, has attack speed and increased damage while wielding a wand. So this is just generically good. However, trying to get there for that 25% mana reservation, don't know if it's possible. We'll see when I actually play the game. This is just from Sanctum League, this was what the character came with. And it's an okay skill tree. So I will go for the Trickster Ascendancy in 3.26. Nothing's been changed from it. It's just very strong, very good. So it does provide 2% more damage for each different type of mastery. So it's actually going to be the same amount as in 3.26 Trickster, which has been nerfed from 3 to 2%. So Scion has the same amount. Thank God. If it nerfed to 1%, wouldn't be worth taking. So currently I could get up to 7 if I had like a armor mastery or something, but it has 6, I believe. So let's start from the top. Life Reservation, that's 2. 3 with physical, 4 with the mana, 5 with the recovery, and 6 with the protection. You can probably switch between protection and armor or vice versa, or just get another one. I decided to just make it I'm level 95 on this character, but I just got rid of 3 points. I had Spectant there, and there's 2 here. But yeah, this is going to be a level 90. Technically, I can just get rid of this. Level 90 character right here. It was using Forbidden Flame, Forbidden Flesh for Trickster, but again, these things were changed after Sanctum. So there's no point for I was going for Raider, but Raider is changed to Warden, so now it's useless for this build. Because of the reservation changes, for this character, I'm only using Spellslinger and Herald of Purity. I guess it's also possible to use Vitality. Well, maybe not, because I'm using Charisma, because that would be cheating, right? I think Charisma probably allows me to use Vitality. So I'm just going to quickly showcase what it would look like. So I'm going to take out... Oh, I have so much stuff in my inventory. Jesus. Whatever. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'll just make it a 4-link. It's fine. And then you know what? Because of that, let's put on Determination. So click your Corrupting Fever. Corrupting Fever, I should probably go over also. It's on a 4-link. So pretty much you pay X amount of life for each thing's attached, for each support attached to it. And it fuels the enemy with Corrupting Blood. So that if you play the game, you notice there's a little icon on top of a debuff that has blood on it. That's Corrupting Blood. It's a thing that drains your life incredibly quickly when you're in the lab. That's why you need a Corrupting Blood flask. Well, you don't need, but it's recommended that you have a Corrupting Blood flask. And that's what this skill does. It inflicts Corrupting Blood on the enemy. And it can go up to 10 times, I believe. So you click it. It has a duration. You can see it's 7 seconds or 6.5 seconds. And then you would inflict it by you're attacking with Kinetic Blast, or any type of wand skill that you like. You can even use auto attack, but not ideal. So I also have Blood Rage, attack faster, and I can get friendly charges. Just click things, and attack and run. With this build, it's probably recommended to use Shield Charge as Yeah, and then if you're bossing, maybe use 2 wands. I just equipped the returning projectiles. It wasn't available during Sanctum League. But yeah, it's pretty much just run, run, run. And when you, every time you spell or you attack with the wand, you spell sling. And with the spell slinging, that's reap. The circle is reap. This tendril like thing, that is exsanguinate. So all of these can stack exponentially. So reap typically is 5 times, and the exsanguinate is 3 times. Granted, I don't even, on this version, I didn't play the Spellslinger version. I played Reap. I played a Reap Corrupting Blood. So I didn't play Exsanguinate. And I wasn't playing as the Spellslinger variant. I would self-cast Reap. I would hook up. The 6th link would be Corrupting Fever, Reap, I believe Efficacy, Brutality, Swift Affliction, and Empower. I believe that were the 4 links. And then I would just have my 4 link for the wand. And then I wouldn't be using Exsanguinate. However, for League Start, I'm going to be using this version. Only because it's slightly easier to scale in the beginning. And then I may switch as I get better gear. I'll probably be switching to that version right here, where you go Reap and Corrupting Fever in 1 chest slot. You could also use Essence if you didn't want to use Haemophilias for the pops. You could use this Essence for Essence of Delirium, I believe. Socketed Gems deal 30% more damage over time. So you could slot Reap, Exsanguinate, Corrupting Fever in here, I believe, yeah. And it'll gain the 30% more damage over time modifier. But for me personally, as my League Start, I'm going to be playing something similar to this. And then as I get more reservation, I'm just going to ditch Determination or get a 6 link, add more damage supports so I can, deal damage. Currently, we can take a look at a map. This is tier 16. I have not tried one. I didn't set up any of my Atlas tree nodes. It's pointless. But let's take a quick peek. Again, click that, and let's run to the races. I'm not capped on resistances. Again, I just had to do some quick tweaking. So yeah. But as you can tell, damage is quite good. Quite good. Like, insanely good. For what's essentially a 3 link. Unfortunately, I have to press. Before, I used to like pressing the buttons for the flasks, but I got really spoiled during Settlers. I guess it was so long that I decided to try it, and honestly, it feels so nice to not click more buttons than I need to. There you go. You saw the blood charges up there. Again, this is very comfortable. And the boss is here. So good to just... Probably good to not get hit because I'm not capped on anything. Single target DPS is honestly better than expected for a 3 link. It's actually pretty good. That is legit a 3 link. No meme. 2 link even, because Spellslinger shouldn't even count. So pretty much, efficacy is the only damaging support. I can't even count myself. So adding an extra 2 damage supports would have made that much quicker. and I shouldn't be using efficacy. It's probably better to use brutality or something, but it's all right. And again, I even have some, do I have some jewel slots? I'm not sure. I guess I got rid of them. There is a jewel that is probably warranted when you play the game. Oh, here's one empty jewel slot. Something like this. Physical damage over time, multiplier, and life are the two most important jewels you could get, or base jewels you could get. And then you would use plenty of these large clusters. Typically for Furious Assault is pretty good because it increased attack speed, physical damage. There's also Battle Harden, which is increased phys damage. And there's also another one. I don't think I have it here, but it's like 10 elemental resistance and like X amount. I'll be back. All right, it's called Master the Fundamentals. That's on the increased physical damage cluster jewel, which is plus 10 all elemental resistances, 35. 35 increased phys damage and 35% reduced elemental damage, which doesn't matter because we don't do elemental damage. So very strong. As you can tell, that was a tier 16 map. Again, I didn't have any of the Palace Passage Tree points expect, but it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. Mostly everything melted, and it's technically on a 1-link Spellslinger, Exsanguinate, Reap, and Efficacy, I think. But yeah, and things pop with Haemophilia. So returning projectiles does feel better, honestly. First time I played with it, yeah, it feels definitely much better than without it, in order for Corrupting Blood to trigger and pop. As you can see, this is really nothing, just fizz spells, some resistance, who cares. Devotos, just, again, it's mostly used because of the movement speed, but it does have some useful modifiers on there. And again, 1-link efficacy. So I'm really looking forward to the changes to the Guardian. I hope they don't ninja nerf it to like 15% increased mana reservation. That would be, again, warranted, but 25 is going to be nice and juicy. I don't know what the endgame chest would look like. You might still use a Skin of the Lords. I don't know, because Skin of the Lords is +2 to all, +2 to level of socketed gems, which includes stuff like Empower. So I already have a level 4 Empower. It goes from 4 through to 6, which is quite large. You would probably go for a Circle of Guilt ring. Also, obviously you get a better weapon. You get a +2 weapon with Phys Dot, and you can craft. Pretty much would be +2, Phys Dot, and Dot Multi. That's the ideal. Yeah, just better boots, better gloves. Nothing more I can say. I just want to showcase something I got in Crucible League. I've been hoping since Crucible League that they add this skill gem to Path of Exile. It was one of the Crucible modifiers that could pop up on weapons. If you look on the bottom, it says 100% of Exsanguinate and Reap physical damage converted to fire damage. Exsanguinate and Reap debuffs deal fire damage instead of physical damage per second. I was hoping they added that to the game as a trans skill gem where Reap is converted into fire. Like, that seems like the most obvious thing to do. But I get, okay, it's right there. GGG, you made the thing. It's right there. Just put that in the game, please. That would be my skill to play Fire Dot, to play Ignite. But yeah, I guess that will be, you know what, it should be a fairly cheap build. I think a lot of people are going to be playing Chaos and Essence and, or not Essence, and Righteous Fire, of course. But But yeah, hopefully I don't know if I have. I'm hoping it's not expensive league start. Oh, but we'll see. Take care, have fun, have a great 3.26, and remember, you're the best.